There's Jen. Oh, no, it's
Jen,
morning.
perfect, Jen, perfect.
Hurry up, it works. Shut you down. Why don't you let me? See, it's 6:30 this morning. I think we should, I think we're live.
Are we good?
Yep.
All right, sounds good. 8:03, we'll get started. Roll call.
Director Jen Laverne. Yes. Director Lisa Vincent.
Present.
Councillor John McDonald.
Present.
Treasurer Malcolm.
Present.
We have chair.
What?
We have quorum chair, sorry.
And, yeah, and a chair, perfect. Thank you, Wanda. Yeah, we'll call it order a little bit after 8 here. We'll do our land acknowledgement. As we gather, we would like to acknowledge on behalf of the Downtown Renfrew BIA and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. And we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Are there any declaration of interest? Not hearing or seeing. Can I have an approval of today's agenda? Lisa and Mel, all in favor? Thank you. Any errors or omissions from the minutes from last meeting? No. Can I have an approval of the May 12th meeting? Lorraine and Jen, all in favor? Thank you very much. Business arising from the May 12th meeting, the BIA board director approved.
So through you, Chair, Jen was approved at the May council board meeting, so it was back to the May 1st.
Perfect, excellent. Recycling changes.
So I wanted to bring, had a few businesses reach out. And there was talk about us bringing a delegation to council with regards to the changes. I would suggest, and this is just coming from me, should we have like an open meeting in the evening, invite all the businesses to come, get all their concerns, all their whatever, send it out to all of our members. We take them out like a personal invitations,
Yep.
See how many come, get as many as we can, and then we can prepare for a delegation to council.
Councilor?
Yeah, and through you, Chair. And it sounds like from talking to Amanda, it's a very fluid situation and she doesn't even know the data yet in terms of the finances. So we were thinking it was gonna be so much, and when she presented last time, we still have to sort out how much it's gonna cost. So to me, we should wait until, and there doesn't seem to be an urgency with regard to the timeline. So to me, wait, that's a good idea if we need to, but sort of push it off a bit. I don't think it's anything we have to do right now. That's where I'm going.
So I was
Till we
thinking
get more information.
if we had the meeting and get all everybody's opinions, then we have all that data, and don't bring the delegation till Amanda
Gotcha,
has all
yeah.
that meeting, but then we're not in a rush to have a meeting and put it all together. That's just where I was coming from.
Yeah. But you're talking delegation to town, right, Wanda?
Yeah.
Yeah,
in-
the delegation going to town when it comes time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But that, I'm bringing it to you guys. That's just a.
let me just kind of put it up to the group. What is your temp check on everybody else? Like, there's a lot of just, I'll just say, anger, that in frustration, without knowing costs and whatnot, right? That's something that we're not going to talk about. But if we were to get people together and see what their ideas were, right? We made this meeting, we don't have all the answers, but we want to make sure that you have the correct information right now, and any ideas that you have come, and maybe we would have a timeline of when some of that other stuff would be coming, just so that there's, all the information in one spot that we have now. And here's the things that we don't know yet. I do see that as being positive. Go ahead.
And I think part of it is because so little people responded to the survey. So if we put this out, have it as and it's just a meeting, people can come in and talk, do it in the evening to make it easy for the business owners. But if you only get 10 business owners come out, then you kind of have your answer, don't you? Like,
Council.
So I think it's a great idea, Wanda. And maybe talk to Amanda with regard to flushing out the timelines. It's just like in terms of the urgency, but I think it's great to get our ducks in a row right now and then move from there.
Mel?
Yeah, and through you, Chair, I don't think it's a bad idea ever to sort of gather. It's a
Yeah.
good opportunity maybe
Yeah.
to chat with them.
Yeah.
It's not a formal meeting, so maybe find out what else is out there and concerning them. So, yeah, to me, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, and through you, Chair, I agree with Mel. I also think that this is a really good opportunity to meet our new members face to face and let them know that we are advocating for them with regards to different issues. So it's, even if it just ends up being a meet and greet, I think it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be just about
Yeah.
the recycling. Here's all the other things that we're doing, and you missed the AGM, come and talk to us. It's not formal. We're not solving the world's problems. Did you have a date in mind, Wanda?
thinking like July, maybe, of an evening in July. Everyone or August, maybe.
And to that point, that's a great idea, not just make it about that, but other stuff too, like an outreach. What about even showing up with Amanda to hear right from her with regard to the latest information?
Oh,
Yeah,
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 I was thinking like, well, we can invite Amanda. But invite it to council or whoever wants, like.
And you're aware, Wanda, of the letters that came into town? Did you get copies of those?
No, I just know that how many filled out the survey. What Amanda had the last time, I think there was 39.
Okay, and there were several emails that came into town?
I've had a
So-
couple letters from.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so even if a direct invite to them to come on and hear right from Amanda too.
So I was thinking we could email it out, but then we'd literally, between Nora and I, we could hand deliver them as well, so everyone would have. So there's.
I mean,
If I may, through you, Chair, we could also have perhaps a Q&A right away to have it to address any questions, because we know they're going to come loaded with questions, and to eliminate any frustrations of, oh, well, I have no answers. Just have that right about the timelines, anything, and then the pricing. Yes, say that right in a form. We don't have that right now, but exactly, but say that in the form. We don't have that, but this is when we're expecting it. This is purposely just to get information, but have a Q&A prepared right away. So at the beginning of the meeting, they can see all of that right away too. And it's that frustration coming in and expecting we're coming in for answers. It's more just a gathering of information and hearing the concerns.
yeah, I think like that email, here's the things that we can't talk about because we don't have the information. But then here's all the other stuff that we can talk about. And yeah, I gotcha. No, let's do that. Canada BIA, or is there anything else on that? No, we're good, Kate. So Canada BIA contest.
So I presented to you the last time the Canada BIA contest. There was so much interest in it. So what they've done now is they're pushing it off to November and October, November. Because BIA's obviously a budget's already approved and they need to go back to boards and there wasn't enough time to do it for July and August. So they've now pushed it to October, November, and I don't have the second meeting now till June, so that's the update on that.
Okay, very good. We'll come back to Mr. Moss when he arrives. Treasurer.
Alrighty, so good morning and thank you. And through you, Chair, we take a look at the activity through the BIA in May. We're 5 months into the year. Had 4 items in the administration and operations section last month. So we had salaries, bank fees, rent, and insurance renewal came through last month. That's just it's a once a year shot, so you'll see that that's gone through. We went with the same providers last year, and of course we did our due diligence by shopping it around, and they came in at the best rate. So on that summary breakdown sheet, you'll just see that our total fixed costs are in at 9,825.95. Office expenses were made up of 3 items. We had the Chamber of Commerce breakfast, we had the Square payment system, which is, I'm not sure if everybody knows what it is. It's just a channel that we can sort of take payments on various things. And then we had a fee to commemorate Jim Miller's passing. So our total admin and operations came in at 10,079. No expenses that had settled in May for advertising and promotion, and we had the Mother's Day voucher purchase of $100. So where does that put us at the end of 5 months? If we have a look at that top window on the month at a glance, we're going to see that our year-to-date numbers are looking pretty healthy still. Mind you, we've got expenses coming through yet, and we've got the big one at the end of the year to consider. But sitting there with a total budget remaining of 60.98%. So again, looking good at this point. Just to review the other windows very quickly, gift certificate program, we had, this is the old school one with the physical redemptions. We had one. We did have some revenues come through. We did finally settle on 2024's HST rebate, so that was forwarded to us. We had a hello voucher. Nothing much has changed there. We did receive the first half of our levy as well, so that has been deposited into the bank. And other than that, not a lot of activity in that month, but certainly open to any questions or comments or concerns. No? I'll send it back to you, Gary.
Awesome, thank you very much. Can I get a motion to accept this month's treasurer's report? Lisa and Jen, all in favor? Carried, thank you very much. Hey. Chamber report, Wanda?
Right, so the Chamber has an after hours event coming up on June 19th, from 5 to 7. This one will be held at the Flower Factory. So it's called Chamber After Hours, Connect, Collaborate, and Grow Your Business at our monthly event exclusively for Chamber members. They are also going to do the draw for their stickers for the prize at this event as well. And then the next after hours event is July 16th, and it's a wine and cheese, which is going to be held at Lapine Apartments, and that's from 5 to 7 p.m.
Thank you. Counselor, town report?
Thank you, Chair, through you. Just from Councillor Grady, who's not here today, the flowers should be going in soon, very soon. And the budget for 2026 should be starting up in September, October. And we just finished the other one, but we're starting up soon with that one.
Good.
And of course, with the new mayor.
I'm sorry?
With the new mayor powers, there might be a bit of a different approach, but it starts up in September, October.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. Economic and development report.
Yes. Yeah, we met last week, the committee, it was actually a brief meeting, but, covered off a few points within it, with regards to sort of our most vested interest with regards to the vacant buildings and some sort of opportunity to deal with that. Josh, our bylaw officer, presented a presentation to us explaining what bylaws are currently in place right now. And basically the system right now is a sort of a knee-jerk reaction kind of system. It's reactionary, where there would be a complaint about a vacant building within our area, and then he would action that complaint. So the proposal that was made at the previous meeting was that looking into opportunities to make that more of a proactive approach. What if that requires a vacant building bylaw, like addition to what's there or what have you. And he is investigating that currently with a number of municipalities that have something like that in place and are enforcing it. And unfortunately, we won't see him again now till September, because the board's not meeting or the committee's not meeting for 2 more over the summer months. So I know I've run into him, he had time in the office and wanted to see him, so hopefully he'll have maybe a little bit of an update he can tell us directly, but we're kind of on a holding pattern with regards to that progress right now. A few other things came up with regards to the board is getting information on possibility of filming being done, movie production within our community. Similar to what's happened in Arm Park, Pembroke, North Bay, that sort of thing. And Jacob is actually spearheading a number of initiatives with regards to that and getting information. Yeah, there was made note at our meeting that there were grants for downtown revitalization this year. I'm mentioned it to one, I'm not sure what we have to do to look at that for 2026 and what platform that has to be through, but one is kind of looking at some information regarding that. And there's also an economic development conference in Ottawa in September, OEMC. Councillor McWhorter brought that forward, and again, after the meeting, I mentioned that to wanted to see if maybe that might be something that would apply to even us attending, or a representative from the BIA, if it would be beneficial or even doable. So that's pretty much where we're at, and then I won't have an update now for a while. Probably till October, because we meet the week after the BIA, so. Yeah.
Okay, any questions? No? Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Event and promotions, attraction and awareness boards.
Yeah, thank you. And through you, Chair, we presented our request last week at council meeting to get permission to install the 2 boards. We're just waiting now to hear back from the town on their permission, which then I think would help activate us to get out and see exactly where we want to put them, and have somebody from, I guess, Public Works or something attend, so that we can sort of start this process and get going with it.
Awesome.
As far as I'm aware, Mel, it will go to council now on June 24th.
Okay, perfect.
At the next council meeting.
Okay, good.
Great. O'Brien Road sign.
So we're still working on the design for that. I just wanted to give you an update. So we are still working on that, and it will get done soon, hopefully.
Beauty. Heart of Renfrew Market.
It's looking good. We've had some good feedback on it. We've got 10 vendors at the
Fantastic.
minute. So it goes, the closure we went to committee of the whole on Tuesday, and now it will go to council at the next meeting, I believe on the 24th of June, for the approval of railway. But so far we've got 10 vendors, and hopefully we'll keep getting.
Yeah. And through you, Chair, Wanda and I did meet last week regarding some of these finer points of what as she mentioned, we're still waiting on the O'Brien Road side, more so from an installation point of view, getting some information on that. And then with Heart of Renfrew Market, we discussed using some of the funds that are currently in our Hello program from the previous year and doing a social media contest, a like, share, comment type thing for the Harder Renfrew Market, where there would be $100 voucher every week that people share that and get that out there. So hopefully boosting our action on socials as well as boosting our followers. So great.
For the heart, of Renfrew Market, are we also planning to have our, like, us present there?
At this point.
We've got a tent, right? We're doing that? Okay, so,
We are,
okay.
you are going to have to, Nora's officially finished August 1st.
Yep,
So gonna have to actually have people that are, who's
So-
gonna decide who's gonna be running it on those Friday nights.
so that's where I'm going,
Okay.
right? Is, can we, as a group, go through and pick the, you know, there's a Friday that works for you, there's a Friday that work, you know, that type of deal. Or if it doesn't, it doesn't, right? But can we kind of look at that a little bit? I think we're ahead on time. Can we? Okay, so the remind me here, I wanted this,
July.
yeah, it's the dates,
July 4th is
Fourth?
the first one. Yeah.
okay. Okay, so, and we're running for 8 weeks, correct?
9.
9, lovely, okay. Can anybody do Independence Day?
I will do July 4th because I'll have Nora.
Okay,
I just gotta learn how to set up that tent.
I think that's no problem. I can come and be setting stuff up. That's super easy. Okay, so Wanda, the 4th. Anybody want to jump in on the 11th? Go ahead.
Can I just say, so like I haven't talked to Nora yet, because the poor girl like literally just got here. So I was hoping for Nora to do the 4 Friday nights in July. Sure.
Perfect,
That
that
but
makes
do you
sense.
want her on her own? Not because she can't be on her own, but I'm thinking of like set up and.
I will personally, I can make sure that setups are done. The setup is fine, but yeah, being there alone. Maybe if you're there the first week, and maybe we can get somebody the second week.
Okay.
I'm only thinking, because if she's doing the social media and the digital marketing, she needs to be out.
Yep.
Right? So she can't necessarily be tied to a table. Unless you want her at the table and not out doing the other.
Through you, Chair, I plan to be there too, I was with the music aspect of it as well, so I feel like if there's 2 of us, we'll clear it out.
For me, it's a little tough because we're gonna be open till 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
and doing promotions each Friday night, a different one, so, but I'm only 4 doors down, so if
Yeah,
something happens.
so really then. The first 4, the 4th, 11th, 18th and 25th. We're gonna have a body there at least,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now is Nora, I'm sorry, is Nora working the 1st, August the 1st? Do we still have her then? Or would she be
I
gone?
think that's her last day, but I'll have to double check, Mel. I have to sit down with it today.
Then,
Oh,
oh, okay, you hear that? That's a compliment. Okay, okay, so I think we'll put the 1st as a question mark. The,
I can do
Okay.
some, I just don't wanna do.
okay, yeah, oh, no, and everyone in these other seats don't want you to. So the 8th is leading up to Dog Days of Summer. I'm in town. I'll be there on the 8th for sure. I can do it. 15th,
I can do the 15th.
You-
I'll just make arrangements to.
You can do the 15th, okay? Mel? 22nd?
I've got buying 2 of those weeks.
You're
I'm
buying? No problem.
So
Perfect.
I'll have to double check
I
my
could
schedule
maybe-
at work, but I'll definitely
might
do
get to
it.
do the 29th.
In August too, though.
You can do the 29th, Lisa?
Yeah, the 29th works for me.
Okay, so let's put Lisa down for the 29th. And I'm sorry, Lorraine.
I'm pretty sure the 22nd, again, I need to double check my schedule at work, but
Okay.
I'm planning to be there for, if not all of them, most of them.
We'll put down Lorraine, question mark. Okay, so that's fine. Wait, 4. Yeah, that's the 9th. Okay. Okay, but that's a tentative at least. That gives us something to work with. That's good. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Anything else on the market? Great. Dog Days, a summer event. You made perfect.
You're the chair.
Perfect. So we met, the basics are getting into place. We have music. There, you had, Lisa, you had said that you got a face painter?
Nope, that would be,
No.
Lorraine got the.
Okay, Lorraine, okay. So we have a face painter. There's the 2 businesses that helped us last year, are in again this year. Just trying to figure out just to what extent. The basics is that we're still gonna have the dog,
Event.
yeah, event, right? The learning from last year is that the getting people to register ahead of time doesn't work too much. So the event will start at 10. From 10 to 11 will be registration. And then we're gonna run from 11 till 12:30ish, which then, you know, music will start from there. A very fun idea was put forward to have a hot dog eating contest. I think this is pretty cool. I think it's great. You will already have hot dogs on site for the barbecue. So is it how many you could eat, or who finishes so many in the fastest time? The one aspect that we just want to clear on that is our insurance, just to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, so, yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm sure that in some form we'll be able to do it. We'll just see just how that will work. But the idea is that we will get some local celebrity personalities to. Thank you. Thank you, Counselor, for hopping on board. But yeah, we'll be doing that. And then just some the one that I think is very, very cool that Mel has brought forth is it's not just maybe the day, but around the time is that we'll have either a sign or even a stuffed animal. And like Mel, do you want to like your idea?
Yeah, so
'Cause
what
I think it's awesome.
It's gonna be, I think, one of the things that when we have these promotions, we kind of draw all the traffic down into Low Square in this area. So my thought being, let's get some attention to the upper street. I'd like to have a Sense of Country sponsor. It's gonna be called Spot. And Spot's gonna be a dog, and we're gonna put it into Dalmatian, I hope, because it's Spots, but we're gonna put this stuffed animal or this replica of it it's on 3 different sales tables a little further up the street. So that would entice, you know, if the kids want to get in this contest, because it's gonna be a candy basket and a large chocolate pizza and everything. So where the kids go, mom and dad go, right? So if they can drag them up to that end of the street, have the participating merchants have a sales table outside, so now they're out there doing a sales event.
Mhm.
Draw the traffic up there, and just, you know, I'll provide some ballots and that they could just drop them off back at Low Square, or whatever, but yeah, again, to try and make that upper end of the street feel that they're being, you know,
Mhm.
in the event.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
If I may,
Sure.
that's a fantastic idea. We could continue on with the social media maybe and give clues. So take little pictures of something that's
Yeah.
nearby so
Yeah.
that people will follow the
Yeah.
pages that's happening and then
Yeah.
they'll see the other updates that we're doing during the event.
yeah,
Absolutely.
events, events inside of events, right? This is, yeah, love it, perfect. So, more to come, but, those are all the pieces that we're working on. Any questions? No, wonderful. New business, sponsorship, advertising policies.
Okay, so I sent this to you. Anyone have any, so you will see, we've got highlighted, I've got to just double check. If I can leave that in there, mind you, our advertising signs will be on town-owned properties, so I just want to be sure that before it's left in there. If we go down to the next one, so I have had, I'm just going to the highlighted areas. So originally, council had to approve if there was sponsorship for $1,000. I was just made aware on Friday by Hannah that that was actually changed. It's now 5,000. So this we can go now follow the towns, just because if we had $1,000 sponsorship, and so if Philippines sponsored us for the tree at 2,000, it means we'd have to keep coming back to the board to accept it, which is a bit silly. So we should just, like, there was a limit of, at a certain amount, council had to approve it at 1,000, so it's now been raised to 5,000, but I was only just made aware, so I will change that. Unless yous want to set it at a different amount. So meaning every time that somebody sponsors $1,000, we'd have to come to the board and get it approved to accept it. So I will change that to 5,000.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes,
What is that trying to protect against?
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
why it was made.
Counselor?
It was,
Staff issue.
yeah, no, it was something that the
Yeah.
former CAO wanted it that way. And it's since been changed, so now they can accept it. So that was my thing, cause I just thought, cause you didn't have to follow that. So do you want ours at 5,000, now the same as the towns?
We do everything else by the town.
Okay. And the other. That'll be the same. We don't need to worry about that. So here, when sponsorships come in, they'll be evaluated by me. And the town had staff or department managers of whichever one. So who do you want that to be, like the treasurer or the chair of that committee?
And to your point from last year, let the committee handle what that is doing, right? And let the chair and the people on that committee doing it. If it's something that is more of the BIA, then have it come to the BIA.
Yeah, fair. If it's for an event.
If it's for an event,
Agreed.
let the event coordinators handle that.
So for example, if somebody sponsored, I don't know, $2,000 to Dog Days of Summer, I would come to you and then, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make those changes. Is there,
That being, I'm sorry, and
Yeah, no, go ahead, please.
But that being said, I think that we need to have like a small little checklist that we're, you know, being prudent towards liabilities or conflict of interest, stuff like that, so that I don't know if the town has something like that we would sort of follow. You know, these funds are coming from like a small agreement or something that we would have in place with the donator, just so that there's no
it's coming,
miscommunication.
It's in that.
Okay.
we're getting to that.
Okay, perfect.
Good,
Okay,
good.
so the next. We don't need to make any changes there. That's all gonna change.
Good.
Do we set, so there is an agreement for everybody that sponsors. My question is, do we wanna set a minimum? So Freaky Friday's a perfect example, when we get people sponsoring $50 for the Halloween or the costumes and stuff, do we wanna have an agreement for $50? Like, what's your minimum?
Through your chair, I think every event could be a little bit different, right? So unless you're creating for each event, like Freaky
No.
Friday is a very different of its own, right? We don't typically have a $50 sponsorship for anything else.
But you could still have a minimum.
If I can weigh in, let's start from the top down. That when we're working with a title sponsor, right? And a title sponsor is, you know, I'd like to be seeing them at 1,000. What you could do is say, look, this is where we want to be. It's $1,000. We haven't had this before, and so we're going to give you a discount, and it's invoiced as such, right? That this is what we want to work to. That at some point, I'm going to be asking you for $1,000. But we'll give it to you now for 500. So you can see the equity. When we start coming down off of title sponsors, and if there's, you know, something along those lines, you just want to make sure that's even across the board, right? I $50. Well, maybe that's Jesus. Sorry, folks. Like are we actually going to have anything lower than $50? Right? Like, yeah, you know, so like that's our minimum for the.
Do you
Please.
care?
Thank you.
No. Perhaps
It sounds great here. I know exactly what's happening up in here.
We
Okay?
could get it.
Yeah, if you could all just hop into this, it'd be fantastic. Please, go ahead, Jen.
I do understand different events for difference, and we talked about this before, but perhaps having the tiers already predefined so that it applies to every event.
Yeah.
So say, okay, so if it's $50, you get this. If you sponsor $250, it's this, but it's tiered so then it's also transparent, and so that people feel it's fair across the board depending on what they're sponsoring, what they're bringing forward, right? So that's somebody who does 50 and somebody who does 500 don't get the same benefits from it. So just have a tiered approach.
That's for the sponsorship package. This
Mhm.
is the policy.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
do we want somebody who's sponsoring is $2,000 to fill out an agreement and somebody who's sponsoring is $50 to sign an agreement?
Oh,
That's.
sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I do. So what's the dollar figure that we would be okay with? Is it like, yeah, I think
Mhm.
500?
Yeah.
Right? Sorry, I want to be very clear with you. Is it 500 that they need to sign an agreement? Okay,
Correct.
okay. Counselor?
So through you, Chair, for transparency's sake, to your point, do we have the information kept somewhere? You may not sign off on an agreement, but somewhere we keep the information as to what transpired, right?
And there's communication for their benefit too, right? They would want formal
Yeah, yeah.
documentation on it.
I think we also have to include contra or in kind.
Mhm.
Mm.
contributions
That's
as
in there.
well.
That's in
Oh,
there.
yeah, that's,
So I read then it.
Wanda?
No, even if they sponsor 50, like I'd fill one out, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't have to worry about getting them to sign it. So we'd
Yeah.
still have it on record.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just the going to everybody to sign for $50.
Yeah.
At Freaky Friday, we could
No.
have
no.
20
20.
sponsors at
Yeah.
$50.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the point.
Jen?
Works.
If I may, then I might lower it, 50 obviously, but maybe 200. Because over 200, it might be a little bit more where you would want to make sure that what they're agreeing to is signed, that they're not expecting too much, right? Or that it's very clear and communicated and they agree, okay, this is what I am getting with this donation or sponsorship. so that they can't come back and say they expected more or anything like that.
Through to you, Chair. I think, Jen, that what that would be a subsequent sponsorship program that we have. This is just the legal agreement that
Mhm.
we would have to sign, but
Mhm.
within each, I think, yeah, we need to be clear as to, you know, if you are a $50 sponsor, no matter what event it is, or if it's just in general, that all the different tiers and then what is involved in that. So it's very clear. So that should be available for sure. As far as having this want to chase people for signatures, what do you feel, Wanda? I mean, you're the one who's doing
I would-
administering this.
I personally would have said 500.
Okay,
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
we don't
I'm,
want to create too much work for you
no,
either.
I'm trying to run, okay, how would this sound? For, uh, Freaky Friday, Dog Days, that summer night, Appalicious. Can we, next month, we'll bring kind of what we're thinking that we would like, if we were able to get sponsors for, and a title sponsor of $500, let's just say that, right? How many would we have? And is there any room under the 500 for something? Is there something above 500? And then we can kind of see that, well, this is how many that we would have. Is that helping at all? Or am I just, you know what I mean?
So I was hoping next month we would have this all completed, we'd bring it back to the meeting. You'd have had your second, third review and final pass to get it done. That's what I was hoping.
So what I'm talking about probably then is something after this, then,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I'm getting ahead of myself. And you can tell me that.
We need to get
Thank
this
you.
done first.
Thank you. So, okay, so, 500 sounds good,
Mhm.
right? Jen?
If I may, and not to bring work, obviously, but is that then if it's under 500 and they're not signing, what are their terms of the sponsorship then? Is that, you know, if it's, we're agreeing, okay, yes, you can have this, we're gonna advertise for you, but when do they do their end of the sponsorship?
And that's kind of where my head is at, but that's where it's gonna be with the event coordinator and that chair, right?
Okay.
And if we can, because that's where my head is at, is that if we can have those kind of outlaid, then I can see what Lorraine is charging $500 for, and then we can just make sure that Dog Days of Summer 500 is the same, yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
they fulfilled
yeah,
their.
so that'll
their
be
end.
the after, but it's the 500 here first.
And through you, Chair, no matter what the amount is, these folks are gonna require a receipt. I think that if we have on the printed receipt, a quick detail, that receipt would be for up to $500, just saying what the amount is and what it's geared towards is a very
Mhm.
blanketed receipt, and I
Yep.
think that's probably
Yeah.
would work. If we get into more details over 500, yes, we might even have to make it custom, saying that you're gonna be on the radio, you're gonna do, you know,
Yep.
so.
That's right.
But for the sake of speed and efficiency, yeah, let's.
And the
let's go that route.
timelines.
Yep.
Mhm.
Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Perfect, okay. Anything else with it?
Does anyone have anything they want added to it? Do you wanna go and home and read it again? And then see if there's anything you want added to it?
Can we do that? I'll say it publicly. I did not have a chance to read it. So can I,
Yeah.
is that
And
okay?
just email me
Okay,
with
let's do that.
changes or questions or whatever, and if we don't pass it in July, then we pass it in August.
No, yeah,
That's it.
well, I'm
That's
sure,
better than my excuse. I sat down this morning and pulled this out, had my coffee and I went, oh shit, I already read it. Oh, these must be my points here. I highlighted it. I guess I've read it.
thank you, Mel.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay,
They just cruel.
good. So, the transfer committee event, yeah,
Okay. Oh,
who wants,
sorry.
who wants to, or? Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, we're coming up with Music in the Square, July 4th. We're not gonna have a meeting before the July 4th one. We will have to pay the musician. This event was based on sponsorships, as we do not have them presently. I know I was speaking with Mel. We currently have some money in our committee events fund. Could we transfer that to pay for Music in the Square for this year?
Any questions? Comments,
Yeah,
Counselor?
with the caveat, if people decide to jump in partway through, they can come in. and
Yes,
sponsor.
absolutely, yeah,
For sure, we would
definitely.
add back
Yep.
to that, sludge.
Any discussion?
No,
Nope. Can I have a mover? Counselor McDonald, but
Mel?
Mel,
Yeah,
Lisa?
that's.
all in favor? Perfect, thank you. Destination Ontario.
Okay, so we had, let me just, I gotta flip screens. So I had an email, let me go here. So Destination Ontario, in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism and Culture and Gaming, has officially launched We Stand, and it's a bold new marketing campaign to celebrate the people, communities, experiences of Ontario. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. I can put the video on. Let you watch that, and then we'll go through.
Ontario, come and stand on the shield of Canada. Stand in the clear blue waters of the south and deep waters of the north. Stand small under the wide open skies. Stand with those who inspire us. Most of all, stand proud. Explore every kilometer and discover it's a place like no other. Stand for the place we love.
Okay, close that or it'll keep going. So we were contacted, and what they have is to join the movement. You're interested in being partnering opportunities. To join, be part of the campaign. We can now accept submissions to highlight attractions, experience and across the province. So I submitted one for us for downtown Renfrew with our Music in the Square, Heart of Renfrew Market with pictures of downtown Renfrew. And we're just waiting to hear if I did forward it to Hannah as well for the town. So it would be great if the downtown or the town could get into this to be promoted on Destination Ontario. You do get a toolkit, and I have already started liking their bits on Facebook and Instagram. So I just wanted to give you an update that that's a new thing out for Destination Ontario, so hopefully we can get in and get on it.
Right? Anything to help? That's awesome. Perfect, thank you. Well, our guest, I guess something's happened to our guest. We have announcements?
Yeah.
Announcements?
We did, just didn't do them because we passed the delegation,
Okay.
right?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so we welcomed the Hive Collective to downtown, and they are located in the back of Ottawa Valley Coffee. June is Seniors Month, so Golden Age has a host of activities and events, from lunches to dart tournaments, blood pressure clinics.
Nope.
June 30th, they're having a Diners Club turkey dinner, and it's $22 a person. The Wizard of Paws is having a cosmetic teeth cleaning for your pet, and it's on June 21st. And I see they also have now an August 23rd one. And if anyone knows how expensive it is to get your pet's teeth cleaned at the vet, they're doing it for $200 and some. And then the Renfrew Legion is having a Canada Day barbecue from 12 to 6, which is steak and a bun with jumbo hot dogs, and it's $6 per person.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I guess that will be it. There's nothing else that you need from us? No? All right, my friends, thank you very much for your time. You have a great day.
There we are.
I will
Yeah,
not-
are we on?
That's the second.